All right, folks, how you doing? WrestleTrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box. Mind, body, spirit, fitness. Putting the healing back in health. Coming at you today with a video on my conversation about Christianity with a gay man. Homosexual, I don't know if there's a proper terminology for it. Alternative lifestyle male, maybe. I don't know. Um, and kind of how I approached it, what happened. So I'll take it from there, right? So first of all, I think I just lucked out and found a really cool dude, right? He was an awesome guy. We had a great conversation. Uh, the way we started the conversation, I don't really remember. I think I was dressed nicely, maybe, but no, it wasn't that. I was gonna say maybe I met him after church, but no, we just started talking, and I think it's always gonna be the luck of the draw, right? And like I said, I think I just ran into a really cool dude, someone that was open minded. That's how we started our conversation. We're gonna talk about it, and let because I think it was he just asked me, well, what's your thought on homosexuality, you know, and then we went from there. But it's the luck of the draw. I think the reason I lucked out was because this was a man whose grandparents were religious, he said, and they always say, I'm gonna pray for you, I love you, blah 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 blah, you know. And we started the conversation with, the issue with a lot of America or people today is that they're not open minded. They're closed minded. So like I said, I just had the luck of the draw, found a really cool guy, and we were chatting. Right. So of course I went into kind of like the natural laws and whatever the case may be. But the one thing we've got to be able to discuss is we got to be open, right? That's what makes a great conversation. I just finished a book called Difficult Conversations. I'm going to make some videos on it, on better ways to approach these difficult conversations. I hadn't even read the book when I had started, when I had that conversation. But, it's bringing yourself into it, it's being intimate during the conversation, and it's about sharing your personal stories. So first, I think what helped was when I just told them, hey, I'm not perfect, you know, and I brought it to the fact where, I went with the church says any sex before marriage is bad, or is a sin, whether it be between two gay people or two straight people, right? It's still a sin. You shouldn't be having sex before marriage, and I think we kind of, I think we might have kind of talked about that a little bit more about how, that's the unfortunate thing. We look for love and we see love in today's society as having sex with someone, when in reality, that's not love. So I think we kind of had a 5-10 minute conversation about that and why premarital sex is a bad thing, or why we can discuss if he believes that or not. And then I just kind of talked to him about, hey, I'm not perfect, and I told him my sins. Like I said, I've engaged in premarital sex. I've drank. I've been to strip clubs. I did these things. Which the church sees it as a sin. And then all of a sudden he was like, oh, that's awesome. You go to strip clubs, blah blah blah. Like, well, no, I used to. I try to stay away from those nowadays. Um, but I just kind of talked with that, and then we talked about, God loves everybody. God, kind of one of the big quotes out there is, God loves you just the way you are, of course, but he loves you too much to leave you that way. So like I said, we went on this big conversation. Anything can come up. Why? Why is it bad? Because one of the things we talked about, I told him, because if everybody on the world, if everybody in the world decided to be gay tomorrow, there would never be another human life born. And then he came up with the rebuttal of, well, now we can do artificial insemination. But then I told him, but we've got to realize we are not God, right? That's playing the role of God. The first thing is you should have no God before God, right? That's one of the first commandments. And once again, it's not about me. Just because science says, just because science has some great new advanced technology that comes out doesn't make things right. Just because we have as humans evolve doesn't make things right to do these things. And one of my big things is the medical marijuana. Once it actually became legalized, a lot of the people I know that stopped smoking weed started smoking again, just because all of a sudden now it was legalized. So now they want to get back into smoking again because it's legal. But that doesn't make it right. It's still harmful to your body. You know, that's why in New York, I think they just passed the medical marijuana. But the thing I thought was cool was they passed it, but only in edible and oil form. They didn't pass it so you could smoke it, which I thought was really cool. That's how I think medical marijuana should be ran. You shouldn't be able to smoke it, but that's a different topic. But anyways, you know, so we just started talking about things like that, you know, just broadening the topic. And then I just kind of left him with food for thought at the end. I'm sure there are plenty of other things. This conversation happened like a month ago. But the one thing that I did challenge him to do, like I said, he was a very open individual. We talked about everything. You know, I myself tried to talk with respect because, of course, that's how you should approach anything, any conversation. You know, respect the other person's opinion, and they should respect yours. Unfortunately, I haven't always followed that, but I've tried. So then, for myself, I think this was the highlight of the conversation, the best thing that I could have done. Because once again, I mentioned I wasn't perfect. You know, I kind of bounce stuff off of him, an idea. They come back, you know, you're in that rebuttal phase. Now you're rebuttaling back and forth between, you know, debating on different things. But the one thing I thought that was really great was when I challenged him at the end. I said, hey, if you want to live, you know, the gay lifestyle, the homosexual lifestyle, that's great. You know, if I see you, I'm still going to chat with you. Hey, what's up, man? You know, no problems. I think his name was Steven with a PH is what he said, because there's two ways to spell Steven. So Steven with a PH. And I think the girl that was with him was Alyssa. Shout out if you watched this video. Shout out to both of you. Y'all are cool. Sorry I haven't contacted y'all afterwards. I don't even think I've been to the bar since then. You know, because we had a few drinks. We were at the bar having some beers. But the way I challenged him was I told him, hey, if you want to live that homosexual lifestyle, that's fine. But the one challenge I give to you is I think we can both agree that premarital sex is not the way to go. So my challenge to you is make the next, you know, don't have sex until marriage. If you want to live the gay lifestyle, that's fine. It doesn't bother me, you know. But I challenge you to make the next person that you engage sexually to be your husband. That was how I left it. You know, that was the only thing. And when I said that, I think he kind of stopped and he was just like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. That was kind of deep right there, you know. And that's just the challenge I left him with. Like I said, there's a lot of different debates and discussions on things that I might have forgot because that was a long time ago. But, you know, and then it's always leaving someone with food for thought, you know. And that's what it's about. I think in that sense, no one had ever came up to him with that type of response. And that's all I did. I left him with food for thought, saying, hey, you know, do your lifestyle, do you. Nobody, you know, I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's you. But that would, you know, make the next person that you engage with sexually be your husband. That's how I left it. And like I said, folks, once again, you're going to have some good debates. You're going to have some conversations, some bad conversations. And just because the unfortunate thing is, it's how the last Christian or those around him have treated him or her, them, right? And that's where your struggle is going to be. But we've got to be able to at least be able to engage with these conversations. You know, I'm a firm believer where they say you shouldn't bring politics and religion and sexual orientation and these things into a conversation. No, those are the most important things that we can talk about in this world. I'm sorry, that's more important than talking about the Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl. Von Miller won the MVP. That has no value in anybody's life, in my opinion. You know, getting to these deep-rooted discussions are where we are going to see great results and change and unity within our communities. That's what the only thing it's about. And if we're not having these deep conversations, what's the point? All right? Just be respectful. So I hope that helps. I wish I would have made this video afterwards so I had the conversation a little fresher, in my mind. But go with that. I hope it helps you, you know, in any way, shape, or form. Hopefully, a gay man or woman kind of seen this video and does whatever, you know. Comment in the box, be respectful, and good luck. luck to you out there. So once again, I hope this helps. Subscribe to the channel, share and like these videos.